You know, I'm just gonna do a casual introduction. I'm not gonna do my usual. So I'm just gonna start it off with, "Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sabotage Show. I am your saboteur, the moderately annoyed Canadian here, and I am joined by Creepy and Deca Shato. Hello, guys. How are you doing?"
The
That was
hell
not what
was
I
that?
expected.
I thought that was. And you know what I realized while we're recording now? I have James, the motherfucker that runs ManicExpression.com, scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Hey
I
guys.
was wondering if anyone was ever going to notice that.
Oh, they'll notice it. How are you guys doing tonight, though?
I'm here with
Mm-hmm.
Decker
Mm-hmm.
and you, so I don't know. Should I flip a coin with that answer?
Within the hour, you'll know. I guarantee you.
Within the hour, I'll know. Yeah.
Somebody's shirt's
Decker,
coming
say
off.
something.
I should be working or sleeping or working on sleeping, but I'm on the Sabotage Show.
Yep. And welcome back, you guys. It has been a very long time, and it is very,
It
very
has.
great to have you back here. I want to know what has been going on with you two. It's been way too long. So, tell me all about your life.
Well, I moved my workstation upstairs for peace and quiet, and as you can tell, it hasn't worked.
And creepy.
Let's see. I lost my Blip channel. I lost a YouTube channel, and I had to make a new one. I've been working on getting a book published on Amazon, working on getting another book published on a place that I'm going to submit to a place called Harmony Inc. And I've been trying to get the ball rolling again on my reviewing and my writing career. But taking more time to focus on my writing because I've been neglecting that. And I've also become Decker and I are
Lovers.
Our lives have
I was.
we've gotten a lot closer in the last year because we've been working a lot closer together, and I've had more opportunities to see Decker with his shirt off and to see him grind against the web camera.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to say, I saw that coming, first of all. And but one thing I did want to mention, because
everyone ships us, even James, even the owner of Manic is shipping us. My boyfriend is shipping us.
It's about time. Like, we had this first interview over a year ago.
Sure.
Okay,
Isn't he cute when he's in denial?
I need to know what happened with Blip, because I'm not a part of Blip. I was never a member. I know that there were a lot of good people that got taken off there. A friend of mine actually that lives in the local area as well, and he was. I don't think he was affected by the situation as much as you were, Creepy. Can you tell us what happened?
It was kind of a shock because I think we were like on our fourth week of our first big October crossover between Decker and myself, and I was not able to get this review uploaded. I tried and I tried and I tried and I kept trying, and it just would not upload. Mm-hmm. So finally I checked, I did some troubleshooting, and I checked the readout page that shows you how many hits and how much money your videos have made, and it said that my account was being terminated and I no longer had the right to upload on Blip. Mm-hmm. And that was the first time I had heard about it, like, at all.
Okay, yeah.
And one of the things that was really kind of a kick in the nuts was the fact that I had just gotten my first paycheck from Blip, like, that month, like at the end of September.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Funny enough, I got another paycheck from them. The first one took me 2 years to earn. The second paycheck I got before my account was terminated, my channel was terminated altogether, I got midway through November. Mm-hmm. So in 2 years, it took me in 2 years I earned $25, mm-hmm. and then in less than a month, in like a month's time, I earned another $25. So I can't help but question how much would I have earned if they had kept me on. But then, of course, come this spring, they were getting rid of people left and right. Pretty much anyone who wasn't the nostalgia critic lost their people on That Guy with the Glasses lost their channels.
Really?
So
Wow.
yeah, but I still
I lost
felt
my
bad
channel.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was getting to that. I still felt bad for Decker because he lost his channel. And
I didn't
knew that
even know
game was
Decker did. Yeah.
Yeah, Decker lost his channel.
What were they going for? What was the reasoning behind all this?
I sent a email to them because they did not give a reason in the initial email. They just said, "Hey, you're not going to be able to post past this date." They gave me a lot more time than they gave Creepy. They told me that in May, was it, that I would not be able to post things anymore past the middle of July, and then my account would be terminated and everything deleted come sometime in September. So technically, I still exist on Blip and everything, and I've been making ad revenue on Blip, and they've paid me twice already since canceling me. And I've already earned enough that they're going to pay me at least a third time. But it's just I sent them an email asking for some specifications, like, is there something about my content or this this would have to change, that would have to change. Please let me know. Maybe we can work something out. And they sent me back a very generic reply that pretty much just said that we are holding everything to a certain standard of quality, and you are not at that standard of quality.
Yeah.
So they pretty much just told me that I was too shitty to be on Blip. And at the time, I was really concerned about the future of my show, because I was working towards Gamerathon 3 already, and doing the fundraiser for that with Patreon. But I had seen that my views were increasing on Blip, even though the ad revenue went down, but it was going back up.
Yeah.
And I was desperately trying to get to the point where I could get paid monthly by Blip instead of every 2 months. I was getting paid quite a bit every 2 months, but I wanted to break the $25 mark and get paid monthly. That only happened once on Blip, and my views never went down, but the ad revenue, for some reason, nosedived at one point. And I was finally getting back to the point of getting close to that, and they pulled that, and I really didn't know what to do, because everything I had tried on YouTube before, I was not allowed to monetize my videos. And the situation put me into that kind of corner, and enough people on my channel were just saying, just try to monetize. So I was like, okay, screw it, I'm going to try to monetize on YouTube, and I very strangely came to the conclusion that I can.
Yeah.
As while the folks like Angry Joe are screaming bloody murder for the content ID system that I have been dealing with since day one, and all the changes rolling in on YouTube with how it deals with copyright, and there are still some pretty screwed up things.
Yeah.
One of the changes appear to be that I, as a film reviewer, can actually monetize my reviews. And that is a pretty huge thing to me.
Yeah.
And it actually, the amount I'm earning from ad revenue on my reviews now has increased monumentally since being kicked off Blip. And it's funny looking back, because at the time it happened, I was really concerned. I knew I was going to keep doing my reviews, but I was worried about, well, I'm going to have the whole thing supported by Patreon. And I know I've got more donations on Patreon now because it's going towards Gamerathon 3. But after that happens, that's going to tank. And if that's the only place I'm getting revenue for my videos, what am I going to do? Will I be able to keep this up for very long after that? And now that I'm making so damn much more on YouTube, it really is just this huge opportunity that has come from being kicked off of Blip.
Have you seen any effects by joining Springboard through Manic Expression at all?
Creepy, you on Springboard?
Yeah, right now I am.
I've,
Springboard.
I've been offered to get on Springboard, but I've been kind of pussyfooting around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Springboard. It's been okay so far. The problem with Springboard was that when Manic was on Webs, Springboard and the Webs version of Manic did not go together, like, at all. It was not Manic specifically, it was Webs in general. Webs and Springboard do not coexist willingly. So there was trouble posting, and there were problem monetize. The biggest problem was people couldn't monetize their videos, and so that was a questionable problem. But I am told that with the new site we're on, that's actually different now.
Mm-hmm. I guess
Which
the
isn't
ad
great.
revenue will go directly to the producer of the content, as opposed to being dispersed out amongst everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It goes directly to Manic, but then Manic distributes it to everyone accordingly.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
most video sites, when they have the ad revenue thing, like YouTube works like this, Blip worked like that. They have a little list of all your videos and what's earned what to account for the entire revenue check.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be pretty easy to check through a video list of what earned what and see who made what and therefore who earned what.
Yeah. Okay, so we are going to take a quick break while I pour myself some more of this lovely Brie white German wine.
And I seethe with rage and jealousy.
Oh, it's so good. It's so cold against my hard nipples. And we'll be right back after those. What? And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank Deck or Shado and that long-haired creepy guy for joining me again tonight. And so where were we?
We were about to talk about the fact that there was already a Sabotage Show episode about Creative Chaos around the time Creative Chaos came out, and for some reason I did not get an email asking me to participate.
In what? In what?
There was a Sabotage Show episode about Creative Chaos around when Creative Chaos was released.
Well, that was actually just with James.
Yes,
It
was.
Yes, let's talk about that. Let's forget about the fact that I forgot to invite everyone except for James. Let's talk about that documentary.
It was a dog.
It's not mine.
That's my dog.
Ooh.
But, so, the documentary.
Yes.
That was a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah.
Though I remember when I agreed to take up Helm as director, part of me, I already knew it would be a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the back of my mind, I was thinking to myself, well, I'm going to hate it if I turn it down. So just decided to go ahead and put my mind to it and see what I could do to help. And honestly, by the end, everyone else came in to really help out a lot with the documentary, and I cannot take all the credit for how well it came together in the end.
I'm sure you can.
So everyone knows that I edited most of the interviews, but there were a lot of interviews that came in after my initial rough cut was put together.
I think I was one of them. I think I was one of the last.
Your interview, I didn't touch.
Yeah.
You
hear that, creepy?
That was during a lot of the final editing and everything, trying to rebalance with all the things that had gone on with Manic Expression. That the initial, sort of short-sighted purpose for the documentary ended up evolving over time, simply because the show itself, the website itself, everything just grew and changed, and all sorts of things happened, and we wanted to incorporate that. And, well, one of those things was you. And that was a very fine addition, I must say.
Well, I appreciate it. There was a few things I wanted to get off my chest just because I hadn't had a chance to really speak about it. And what do you laugh? Creepy?
Naked.
Are you guys getting delay in video?
Don't think so.
Oh, okay. So, your part in the documentary, Creepy, was actually very, very personal. I noticed.
Yeah. Looking back on it, I do kind of wonder what made me think that was a good idea, or why I went that direction. I was like, I pointed the camera at myself and started rambling, and like later on, Decker you didn't actually do anything that I instructed you to do in that instructional video, and so I offered to redo it. He was like, "Oh no, never mind. I'll think of something." And James and I were talking, and it eventually evolved into a segment where Kurt and I are both talking, and our videos are overlaid with one another. And after the documentary went live, I had a lot of people from Manic contact me and tell me that my segment of the documentary was their favorite.
Yep. I actually really liked it. I think I sent you a message shortly after I'd watched it. I think I sent you one on Facebook.
I think you did, yes. I do remember that. You say, forgive me, I don't remember exactly what was said, but I do remember that you said something along the lines that you really liked it.
Yeah, it was really good. The whole thing, I think, was done very, very well, especially on, what was the budget on that again? $0?
Yeah, pretty much.
The only thing that can really be counted as expenses towards Creative Chaos was
the DVDs themselves.
I got a plane ticket to come to Minnesota from Texas to partially promote Creative Chaos during Metacon, and also the footage that we got at Metacon that year did end up going into Creative Chaos.
Yeah.
So that is like a technicality that maybe you could say that was the cost, but honestly, the whole thing was done on effectively a zero budget.
Yeah. And would you say that the film had any kind of success, any level of success?
I would say that I have a cat on my desk. But yeah, it's definitely been noticed, and the YouTube. Hi, Tara. Yeah, I know. Anyway, the YouTube video of Creative Chaos actually has over 2,000 views, which, considering it was posted on the Manic Expression YouTube channel that doesn't have a very large subscriber base, is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is.
That's my nose. Right, Tara.
Now, right after the launch of the documentary, especially when it hit YouTube, I noticed that we also hit a pretty big jump in subscribers and members on the site. Do you think that was anything to do with the documentary, or was that just word of mouth? Because I noticed that the Facebook page and the Twitter account was getting a lot more attention than it was beforehand. So well, I'd like to think that had something to do with it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I did hear a few testimonials myself from people who had seen Manic Expression from the documentary and came over, and also even from just going to Metacon and having the panel. We didn't have a It sucks when you have a particular. So we didn't, and it helped.
I have a particular right now.
But we didn't have a very large panel, but the people we did have did actually seem interested, and at least one of them I know did sign up for Manic Expression afterward, which is pretty awesome because I saw the members update and I actually recognized the person from the panel, and I was like, yeah, I remember them. I talked with them.
Nice. Yeah.
So it was nice that even before Creative Chaos was done, it helped the size of Manic Expression in a very small amount. So I do believe that the full-length documentary did also have a effect.
Yeah.
It causes dogs to bark constantly.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Just right now, your dog is thinking about Creative Chaos.
Just trying so hard to tell us that they want to join Manic Expression because of Creative Chaos, but they're so frustrated because they don't have thumbs and they can't articulate themselves.
Yep, opposable thumbs is what separates us from the beasts. Speaking of beasts, let's talk a little bit about Fusinator, because that little spitfuck, he is 17 years old? And I don't mean spitfuck in an insulting way. The guy is 17 years old, and I've never seen that much ambition from somebody that age ever in my life. He's really smart, and to help put all of this together is incredible. I wish I could actually have him on the show tonight as well with you guys. But, I want to say something about him is just that not only is he really smart, and he really seems to care about this whole project and every project that we put together as a site, as a community, that he seems to just go all out there and do it. And for that age, for being 17, when I was 17, I didn't give a shit about anything. You know what I mean? So, got to give the guy credit.
I mean, I was working at McDonald's, so it was really hard for me to care about anything.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Creepy? What do you think about the fact that this guy, like, I think he's almost 18 now. I don't know.
Honestly, I'm really impressed. I really am.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, he's still in high. He's may not be in high school now, but he's high school age, and to be that dedicated to anything, that's pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if I could, forgive me, I do want to make a detour and go back to something
for sure.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
Something Decker brought up. I went and checked myself. According to YouTube, at the moment, we have the Manic Expression Creative Chaos documentary has 2,898 views. So it's actually closer to 3,000.
Nice. Yeah, and that's probably all of me checking it every day. Actually, I have a hard time watching these videos sometimes, even just the podcast, or even if I'm doing like a Minecraft Let's Play, which I haven't done in a while, but I'll have a hard time going back and listening to it or watching it just because I don't like to see myself. So if I'm watching the documentary, which I've watched about 5 times now, I'll skip my little bit and then I'll continue on. And a lot of the times it's like Y Boy's rant. He just goes on for like 20 minutes. And but actually, and guys, like you were saying, Decker, earlier before we started recording, is you had a lot of help too with this. Y Boy was one of them.
Oh yeah.
And he has a lot of skill too. He's a great artist, and
and Fusinator.
Fuse, obviously. Yeah.
He did it a lot.
Yeah. What did James do? I need to know what that motherfucker did.
James was kind of in a managerial position. So I was directing, he was producing. Mm-hmm. He was overseeing a lot, and when it came, time to hammer down and really get the absolute final vision, he was doing a lot, going back and forth and saying, okay, we have to cut this for time, cut that, we have to have something here and that. So I had a lot of say in the early direction, but James coming in to really work his tail off towards the end also did have quite a bit of sway in how the end result came about.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, James sacrificed much of his sanity to bring Manic Expression to Creative Chaos to the forefront.
Yeah.
So I don't know if James is technically counted as an editor, but he was the puppet master.
Yeah. Yeah. He was kind of the whoa.
Yeah, I'm losing you.
We're getting a lot of noise here. Okay, so James was kind of like a director of sorts.
Of sorts.
Yeah.
speaking technically, I was still the director,
Ooh.
and I still had the final word. Is this good? Is this bad?
How did you find one thing I have to ask is if you were to go onto a real set, a production set, and you know what cameras you're using, you know what audio equipment you're using, and so forth. How do you deal with situations like this guy will have a camera that records in 1080p, this guy has a camera that records in 640 by 280, and I know you guys, you both have really high quality cameras, especially when you do your videos, right? Now, with somebody like that doesn't do a video, that maybe does a blog, or somebody that doesn't really care too much about the quality of the video itself, and they really just want to get their voice heard, how do you deal with that when you're in editing? Like, you can upgrade everything to 1080p to a certain degree when you're doing an actual, if you're using, I don't know what your software is, but did you find it was tough?
Oh, extremely. There were a couple of ones that I was trying so hard to get in, but the equipment they had to record with was just so bad quality, no other really way to put it. And I was running things through color correction, saturation filters, and audio denoise, and had to go through manually to try and remove things like uh, the little bleep from a low battery in a a smoke detector. Trying to find those and remove those, since there's no electronic way to go in and check for that and
Yeah.
remove that. At least none that I own.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some of those that I wanted so badly to keep because the interview, the what was spoken, was still profound enough, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the visual quality and the audio quality was just not there. And that was some of the parts where James was coming in like, yeah, that's not making the cut.
No. Yeah.
And as
clear,
producer, he was kind of, he had that sway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the long run, he has to know what's gonna cut it and what's not gonna cut it. But I mean, when I look back at it, I'll see somebody like Patricia Miranda. She's got the quality. Like, she has a decent video quality.
Oh, yeah.
Now Jocker Lee, in my opinion, he's one of the most fascinating guys to read on, and just to listen to what he's. If you have a one-on-one conversation with the guy, it's fascinating because he's really intelligent, but his quality is just shit. And
no, we can't all afford the
exactly
big expensive camera.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a big expensive camera I'm dreaming of right now. Like, yeah, if only I had $2,000.
Oh, which one are you thinking of?
Sony FDR AX100.
Oh wow.
It's a 4K camcorder.
Oh. What does that run?
It's a
Surface
sexy
Pro has
beast.
been abandoned. The Surface Pro has been abandoned.
I remember the Surface
Oh,
Pro.
I want to get a Surface Pro still, but I also want to get a Sony FDR AX100, but I also want to get Camerathon 3, and that is taking priority.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, people. I asked people for money.
Yeah.
People responded. Now it's time to hi Tara. I was having it was profound. I was having something that was going to be quoted for ages, and then suddenly cat.
That would be the thing that's quoted for ages instead.
Yeah. Decker with a pussy in his face.
But yeah, I asked for money with the offer of Gamerathon 3. I received money. I must keep my promises.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling out all the stops. Like, Gamerathon 3 is going to be done. I'm going to make it as awesome as I fucking can. And if I don't have a Surface Pro, I don't have a Surface Pro. If I don't have a 4K camcorder, I don't have a 4K camcorder. But I'm going to have an awesome fucking Gamerathon 3, and people are going to enjoy it. And if they don't, I will find them.
Now, how do you plan on recording into a 4K camcorder when you're like, what kind of monitor do you use?
Oh, I have a 1080p.
Yeah.
But my editing software is 4K capable.
Yeah. Oh, okay. What do you use?
It also likes to lock up and crash, and it froze my computer so bad yesterday 8 times that I had to manually just hold the power button down.
Yeah.
Wait for it to turn off, and then wait a few seconds to press it again, otherwise it's going to fuck up on the restart.
What kind of software do you use?
Cyberlink Power Director.
Power Director.
I
And
use
you creepy?
Power Director 11, and it keeps trying to sell me Power Director 12, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait a month and wait for Power Director 13 to come out.
Oh yeah. Creepy, what do you use?
Vegas.
Sony
believe it or
Vegas. Yeah.
not. Vegas Movie Studio HD Platinum 10.0.
Yeah. Now, when you guys do a video together, who normally does the editing and the producing?
That generally depends on whose channel it's going to end up on. Like, if I'm doing a crossover on one of Creepy's videos, I'll film my footage and send it to him via Skype,
Yeah.
and then he'll edit everything together in Sony Vegas. And if I'm doing a review on my channel and it's a crossover with Creepy, we'll script it together, and he'll record his footage, send it to me over Skype, and then I'll edit everything.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Whatever works.
But he gets to enjoy more of me screaming obscenities.
Yeah.
He
Now,
doesn't have nearly as many.
look at that. You guys see that? Oh, yeah. Now, before we go to commercial break, is there anything else you guys want to talk about the documentary, Creative Chaos?
We're still
in my
working,
underwear.
We're still working on getting the Blu-ray and DVD out.
Yeah.
James has gone ahead and bought a Blu-ray burner drive and sent it to me, but damn thing doesn't work.
No?
So,
Oh.
and yeah, it's one of those things where it was bought online and it arrived from China in a brown cardboard box.
Mhm.
So looking at it like, well, so much for warranty.
Oh, no. Oh.
Yeah, I know, Tara. It sucks.
She wants her Manic real
But
bad.
I can burn DVDs, and we're currently working on getting the proper software to recreate the DVD, recreate the Blu-ray menus and special features that we had planned as a DVD, have a 2 DVD set to have all the special features, and all that lovely stuff, and we're still trying to get everything hammered out there, but we are like so close to being able to produce the DVD, even if the Blu-ray is going to take a little bit more time, sadly, just because hardware failure.
Yeah, yeah. Now, what about the fact that there are like other options out there right now, like Netflix, and Hulu Plus, and all of those things?
James has been telling me that he's been working on contacting it, blah. But all the contacting blah that he's been doing has been making progress with talking to Netflix and finding out if he can get Creative Chaos distributed that way and what have you, which sounds pretty awesome. I really like to see that happen myself.
I mean, that would be one of the most exciting things in my life if that happened. I mean, it's not too often that you would get to go onto a worldwide platform like that, right? I mean, yes, we're on the internet, but I think Netflix it's almost a smaller platform in the sense that somebody goes on there, it's going to be on like recently added, and it wouldn't even really matter where you lived in the world because it wouldn't be based off of like available in Canada or available in the U.S. It would be available everywhere. I guess there would be some legal actions there too. I don't know.
Potentially, but that's why we got to contact everyone and find out exactly what is required.
Yeah. Oh, I hope he gets it on Netflix. I would totally watch it. I would jerk off to Creepy. All right, I said it. You happy?
Kurt has this theory that I unintentionally make straight men attracted to me. I'm starting to wonder if he doesn't have a point. Because so far there are hints that it's happening to Decker and he's just really in denial about it. There are hints that it's happening to you, Mac. And there are hints that it's happening to James.
It happened to me a long time ago.
And I'm not in denial because it's not happening.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening.
I think one of the reasons why Mark avoids me is so it doesn't happen to him. A big black hat man.
Yeah. I wonder how he's doing. I have him on my Facebook. I talk to him once in a while. But it's almost seemed like he's slowed down a little bit lately. Shouldn't talk about him like that.
Probably just work.
Yeah, it's gotta be work. Yeah.
I would say it's just work. I do know he has a very demanding job. So
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
I also stole his hat.
Oh, you bastard! You took his hat?
Yes.
Can I borrow it?
Okay.
Okay, thanks. Okay, guys, we will be right back. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the website itself and how we finally moved off of webs. And really, was it a big deal? We'll get back to that after the break. And we're back. I would like to once again thank Decker Shadow and that long-haired creepy guy for joining me tonight. Thanks, guys.
welcome.
Everybody sounds so mean now. Okay.
Decker's taking his shirt off along with you. Does this now you should be partially naked now?
Really? Decker?
You mean you're not already?
All right, let's see it, Decker. Let's see the skin. Come on. Say something.
How did you not see my skin? I thought
Oh my
I was
God.
on the camera the whole time.
You're not even nearly as white as I am. You look like you've actually gone out in the sun. Have you been outside?
My walls are yellow. It's an illusion.
Oh, I see. All right, all
Okay,
right.
let me get my headset off.
All right, let's do this. Come on, it's a strip show. And we're all naked. Well, I couldn't ask for better timing for what we're about to talk about next. Actually, it had nothing to do with what we were going to talk about next. We were going to talk about the new Manic expression that not too many people actually have any clue what was going on. Outside of the site, of course. We are now off webs. Can somebody tell me what the hell happened there?
It started off with Webs accusing us of having violated their terms of service with by posting nude photos and giving porn links. And no, before this can go any further than it already has, no, it was not actually me they were talking about.
I don't get what they're talking about. Like, where did they get this all from?
There's another reviewer on Manic Expression, Dom Perignon, who also reviews porn, and he was the one they accused. Although Dom Perignon censors his videos, they do not show explicit content, so and they did not contain links in them or photos. So everything that Webs accused the user of the member of was a bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
So basically what we've narrowed it down to is that Web got really pissed because we were about to leave, so they decided to do something really dickish. Evidently, James finally got fed up with them and threatened them with legal action, at which point they restored the old Manic domain so that what was not taken off the site yet could be retrieved.
Okay. Now, in regards to that, with this new site, what are the restrictions? Are they about the same? Or are they a little bit more lenient on things like people like us? Like, I come on this show, as an example, and I'll take off my shirt, I'll say fuck, I'll say shit, I'll say whatever I need to say. Creepy, you're the perfect example of, like, non-restriction. I mean, you do have restriction, you have restraint. You're not going to go out there and you're not going to be flopping around everywhere. Until
Are you sure?
until Decker actually edits that part out. But I mean, are these guys that we're with now? I think, what is it, Gator or something like that?
Right.
Post Gator.
It was.
Oh, okay.
It was. It's post Gator.
Okay. Are these guys going to be a little bit more lenient, or are we just digging ourselves into another hole here?
So far, it seems like things are coming along. There are still glitches, issues, basically the kind of problems that crop up when you move to a new domain.
Yeah.
When you relaunch a site, when it switches domains and whatnot. But people seem. I'm not saying things are perfect, but people seem to be. It's encouraging. People are being very patient. They are being very understanding, and things are slowly coming together. It seems like.
Okay. And
I did a little bit of research on HostGator, and it seems that most people have much more pleasant stories to tell of them. There's nothing like Web's BS going around. At least not to nearly the same extent, as I'm not finding nearly as many people to say such a thing. As I haven't really found anyone who has said anything really negative about HostGator, which either means that they are pretty good or they have really damn good people to go out and just delete all of that.
Yep.
Either way, they're professional.
It's strange because watching this video playback right now really brings me back to the very first time I had actually gone onto Manic Expression. Do you guys mind if I tell the story?
I'll go right ahead.
It's a good memory. Okay, let's see here. I was on YouTube, and I had just finished. I believe we talked about this about a year ago. I had just finished watching your review, Decker, on Paranormal Activities. I think it was the second one.
No, it was the fourth.
It was the fourth, and you were telling the story. You had just gotten out of the theater. You had your camera phone, and you were walking because you get motion sickness, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was watching that video. I was like, oh man, this guy's really funny. And you had, I think it was like 500 subscribers, if that.
Yeah, at that point.
Yeah, at the time, right? And so I was like, okay, I really like this guy, and I started watching, and I mean literally, I started watching from your very first video you ever uploaded, where you were talking about Alien versus Predators, talking about PlayStation versus Xbox, and all that. And then I was like, okay, well, I want to watch this guy's latest video, and you said you had to go to Manic Expression in order to watch it, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, I'm not a guy that literally clicks on links or ever clicks on links to go to these videos to watch these things. And so I went to Manic Expression. I had no idea what it was. And okay, so I watched one of your videos on there. I don't remember which one it was. And I was like, okay, well, I want to find out more about the site. And so I clicked on, because James had just posted a video. And it was with Creepy. And so, of course, it was you guys with no clothes on. And I thought, wow, this is fucked. Like, this is really fucked up. And I for the first time ever, and I was still in my 20s at the time, I was like, I really want to be on this site. And so I did my first video, which was, of course, I took my shirt off, and I thought, okay, well, you know, like a nudist colony. I thought everybody was doing it. I thought it was just one of those sites where everybody was just kind of messed up. And we are, of course, we are now. I guess I can't say I'm not a part of it, because I really am now. I've kind of pulled myself into it, and I love it. But it was literally because of you, Decker. And I said this in the video I did for Creative Chaos. It was because of you that I joined Manic Expression. This is the very first site I've ever joined. This is the very first video content I've ever done online on the internet. And it was literally, it came down to, it was you, it was James, and it was Creepy, because if it wasn't for the three of you, I would never have had the courage to do anything like this. So I really do appreciate that. And just seeing us without our shirts on reminded me of that situation. so thank you guys. I really do appreciate that. And it's now been about 2 years.
Yeah. Damn.
Thank you.
Ow. Damn.
That's my story, and
Wow.
I'm sticking to it.
2 years. Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually didn't become a member for a while. It wasn't until I was like, okay, well, I'm going to do a video. And it wasn't even a podcast. It was literally just a video with a web camera. I don't even think it was an HD camera. I don't remember. I was just like, I got to do something. But anyway, now that I'll stop crying here. Let's.
Tara, stop biting my hand.
So what I wanted to talk about with this new Manic Expression, because it really is kind of new in a sense that we have a little bit more give, a little bit more leeway with what we can do and what the site has to offer. Do you think that's going to help with your production and your dreams on what you're trying to do? Question for both of you, by the way. That's for both.
Well, my first impressions of the new Manic expression were of frustration because I couldn't figure out how WordPress works. WordPress?
Yeah, I still can't figure it out.
Yeah.
And I eventually started getting the hang of it, but it's like damn, Tara, stop trying to eat my arm. It's my arm. Eat your own arm. But I see how really because Manic Expression, because of what Webs did, the new Manic Expression ended up launching quite a bit earlier than was originally intended, and it wasn't quite ready yet.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of hurdles, there were a lot of hiccups, and that was kind of my first impressions of Manic Expression, the new Manic Expression, and I was honestly very frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, once I got the hang of posting on WordPress and exactly how it worked, and seeing all of the new tools that we had, and then also seeing how far the site has come in just 2 weeks,
True.
and how much cleaner everything goes, how much faster everything moves, it's really seeing the transformation of how it launched versus how it ended up when it was actually supposed to launch. It's really made me think that there is a lot more potential that we haven't even come close to tapping in the new Manic Expression. And it's definitely got me excited for the future.
Nice.
Tara, stop trying to eat my hand. Ow.
Oh, Linkara actually plugged us in his blog too.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. James had posted that. I was actually really surprised.
Yeah, I got an idea.
Can somebody tell me who that person is?
He's one of the top
You don't know who
reviewers on that
Linkara
guy with
is?
the glasses.
No, I have no idea.
He
Yeah, he was
reviews
one of
comic
the,
books.
yeah.
He's one of the big names on That Guy with the Glasses, who's been on That Guy with the Glasses since about the beginning, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If not
Just
directly
about.
at the beginning.
Not directly at the beginning, but thereabouts.
Oh, okay. Huh. And he's a big name, and is that one of the reasons that we have more subscribers as of late?
I think those are actually due to spam bots, but it's a nice thought, yes.
Well, it's a combination of the two.
Yeah. I wonder why all of a
Yeah.
sudden we're getting spam bots.
Well, they were,
Uh,
like we said, the site launched prematurely, and there were some safety things that were not yet hammered down. And we got picked up by a spam bot aggregator, and they started just having a whole bunch of spam bots creating false accounts. Though we got that taken care of, and fortunately we have not been besieged by nearly as much spam as we did spam accounts. So still there are enough things in place that prevented it from being as bad as it could have been. And the tide has at least stopped. But yeah, we got to figure out what to do with all those spam accounts.
Can't they just delete them?
Well, they're not all obvious, so
Oh, okay, yeah.
you can't just say, I don't recognize you, so bye-bye.
Yeah.
Tara, there's bacon right here. My face is not bacon. Bacon right here. Yeah, get the bacon.
Have you guys
No, that's my face.
Have you guys noticed more people posting on Manic? Or is it pretty much the core group that we had before?
I haven't. Tara,
I get nothing.
Tara, I'm trying to have a conversation, and I'm trying to give you bacon so that you allow me to have a conversation.
it seems like things are picking up. You know, at first, people were figuring out how WordPress worked, but it does feel like things have been slowly but progressively getting better.
Yeah.
I saw some comments from a few people who I did not recognize, which was interesting.
Okay.
a person mentioning a person who I did not recognize mentioning on my Sexpot review that actually I think they said that their wife's cousin was actually in the movie, and I didn't respond because I didn't know how to respond to that because that was not a movie I liked. I don't. They were completely neutral in their comment of their opinion of the movie. They didn't say anything, but I was like, how the hell do I? I was like, what was she the one who showed her ass
We can
or
only
just the
hope.
tits? It's like, oh, no, that's offensive too. Hmm.
Yeah. Wow. So you guys live in the States. Do you ever come across any movie sets or anything like that, or hear about anything like any production in the area you live?
Well, I live out in Mississippi, and
Well,
I mean, it's
I found out considerably after the fact that Predators was actually filmed in Texas, and I think it was filmed in Texas while I was in Texas.
Cool.
It was filmed
still in
closer to.
Texas.
Well, I mean, I moved to Texas, and shortly after,
Yeah.
because I did not live in Texas for most of my life,
What
but I
the
believe they
original
filmed
Predator?
it shortly after I moved to Texas, but they were closer to Dallas, whereas I was in Houston.
Oh, okay, yeah. Which Predator? The first one?
Predators.
Oh, Predators. Oh,
The
wow.
latest one before they release the fourth Predator movie, which they're going to probably call Predator.
Wait, how can they call it Predator S's?
Uh, is
Can we get a return policy on the Predator movie?
I don't think so.
Ah, the first one was good. The second one was good.
What?
The third one was
Eh.
meh.
I didn't like the second one so much. I mean,
The
it
Danny
was still
Glover.
decent,
Yeah.
but not as good as the first. I mean, it's got a really bad reputation, but it's not nearly as bad as it's said.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are some pretty messed up things in it, but overall, I'd say it's a decent movie.
Yeah.
Uh, I personally liked Predators better than Predator 2, though.
Mhm.
So, and a lot of people really hated Predators. But then again, a lot of people really hated Predator 2. Um,
Was Lawrence Fishburne in the Predators movie?
he was in Predators for about a day.
Yeah.
I think they literally only had him on set for maybe 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was only in a very small amount of the film.
Yeah.
But Tara, that's my nose.
Now,
Do I bite your nose?
now in common form of the Sabotage show, we've gone from talking about, well, the documentary, of course, the website itself, what we've been up to lately, and now we're not wearing any clothes as normal. What are you guys up to? Like, what are your projects? I know that just before we started recording the show, you were talking about the Hellraiser, the summer of Hellraiser.
Oh, yeah.
But before we get into that, I want to know, Creepy, we never got to talk about what you're doing. And then we'll get into the summer of Hellraiser.
Like I said, I've been focusing more on my, my writing, my books, getting my books published.
Yeah.
I have a book that it's in editing right now that I'm going to be putting out through Amazon. And Decker has actually offered to do his first book review once it goes up. I'm interested to see how this goes. He's already had several lines that he's rehearsed in front of me, and which I have smacked him for saying out loud. I'm working on another book for a publishing company called Harmony Inc. I may send Decker that one too, just to torture him a bit.
Wait a minute. This wasn't part of the contract?
What contract? The contract says that you do everything I tell you to do. Therefore, it is. And I am still uploading material to my YouTube channel. I've been getting my old stuff, my classic stuff, if you will, from my old channel posted.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the meantime, I have been helping Decker stay on track with his own reviews. Not an easy feat, I will admit. It has been marginally, it has improved somewhat since he moved his setup from downstairs up to the privacy of his bedroom. And we are planning something for October, even though it won't be Gamerathon 3 yet. That is still in the works, just to reassure everyone. So I've been pretty busy.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it. And we were talking, like, again, this is all before the show, but you were mentioning that a lot of this came about when the incident with Blip happened. You started to get the idea that maybe you could get back into writing. Now, I wanted to ask you, even before we talked tonight, before the show, what kind of effect did that have on you personally? I don't mean like when you're doing your shows or creatively, like personal level. When something like that happens to you, because for me, if you or James or Fusionate or anybody of the admin staff on Manic had come up to me and say, "Hey, listen, John, we don't want you on the we don't want you on the channel. We don't want you on the site. Thanks for our, your time," and then they just said, "Get off." That would personally affect me very strongly because, I mean, first of all, it was my first video. And if that had happened, I probably would have been choked up and pissed off. So
honestly, I would say that in a way it still affects me because there are still a lot of times where I wonder, do I still want to keep doing this?
Yeah.
Because first the Blip thing happened, right when I was turning in even a marginal amount of income from it.
Yeah.
Then the YouTube thing happened, and the YouTube thing was really the blow to the nuts. The Blip thing started it, but it felt like when I lost my first YouTube channel, because I had just hit 1,000 subscribers, and they say getting your first 1,000 is the hard part. That's the first major hill you have to go over. When you hit the 1,000 mark, getting to 2,000 is another hurdle to cross, but it doesn't feel like quite as big a hurdle. Getting to 5,000 feels like the next big hurdle, and so on and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt like I had the feeling that I'm getting somewhere with this finally.
Okay, yeah.
And then that happened, and it's made me question a time or two. What do I do? Do I still want to keep doing this?
Yeah.
And honestly, I have to say, if it wasn't for Kurt and Decker, I would have quit.
Yeah.
I would have just said, it's time to move on.
Yeah. Yeah. We all have to have some level of motivation in our lives in order to keep doing these things because, let's face facts here, we're not making millions of dollars. Right? Yeah.
We're not?
Well, I mean, other than Decker, we're not.
Yeah.
I meant Creepy and I mean, we're not going to...
Who reminds me to this day that he has more subscribers than me.
I know, Decker, I know. All right, Creepy, how many subs do you have?
I have 240.
Decker has...
Quick, let me check.
Over 6,000.
Oh, well over 6,000.
He couldn't have just left it at that. He had to say well over.
6,611.
Well over.
My current rate of subscriber growth tells me that I will hit 7,000 before the month is out.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise known as...
Okay.
I'm going to die next time me and Creepy.
Yeah, he's going to take you out.
Decker?
Oh.
Castle walls.
What were the castle walls?
You should know. You said it to me.
This is getting dirty.
I did?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't ever remember a thing I say. This is why I write scripts, because I can't do.
All right, all right. I want creepy. I want you to tell me what your thoughts are on Decker's summer of. I'm getting some feedback. Hold on. I don't know why that keeps happening. It's just a bug I need to work out. I want you to tell me your thoughts on Decker's summer of Hellraiser. And what are your favorite Hellraiser movies?
Can you hear me?
Oh, a little bit.
I can hear creepy fine. I can't hear Mac too well.
You can't hear me?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
now there you go.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we're back.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Summer of Hellraiser. Actually, this might be the best summer that Decker's done so far, excluding, the Summer of Planet of the Apes. Summer of the Planet of the Apes has special mention because, it had me in it.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the Summer of Hellraiser is the best one yet. It has that perfect blend of progressively horrible and sanity strippage.
Oh, no.
I still really like the Summer of the Planet of the Apes. I mean, there's not too many summer specials to rate so far. There's only 3. You got the original, that fucking thing with Seagal, and the new one.
Still don't know why you did that. I'm sorry, I don't.
I thought it would be cheap. I was really... That's what the second year of my show was really all about. I desperately am trying to save money. It really didn't work, so at the end I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I'm getting into this. I'm liking the Summer of Hellraiser.
Yeah. Yeah. Now,
you had something to say, though, I think. Sorry.
Who? Who, me?
You.
Okay,
yes.
okay. Okay, so I'm going to be blatantly honest here. I think we talked about this earlier, too. The first one I was okay with. I think the first one was a little bit, it was darker, I think. The second one was a little bit, had added that little bit of humor I found they did with most horror movies in the 80s. The third one was ridiculously stupid. The acting was terrible, especially the cameraman, which we talked about. He just couldn't act. I can't remember his name. The fourth one, I don't even remember what that one was called. But I still...
Hellraiser in space!
In space. Yeah.
Bloodline.
Bloodline. And then so forth. I'm still watching your reviews. And I think I've seen all of them. But I still think the third one was my favorite. I think because of all the, what are they called again? The
Cenobites.
Yeah. I think because there were so many of them all together, and then they all had their own, almost like a superpower.
They were like R-rated Power Ranger monsters.
They really were. Now, my favorite part of the second one was when the evil doctor, like the bad doctor, ended up in hell, and then the elevator came up, and that thing latched onto the back of his head. Here I'm gonna give you guys. You guys can see me. Can you see me now?
Yeah.
It went like this, like that, and then it was like that was my favorite part in the second movie.
I like the little dance he did at that point.
Thank you, Decker, for dancing without your shirt on. You do realize that one day when you hit 1 million subscribers, people are gonna look back on this video and say, "What the fuck was I thinking subscribing to this guy?"
It's like, I was there when Decker did his first shirtless dance. I remember that night. I masturbated to it later.
There it is. Well,
Decker can't really complain because on the very first time we worked together, the day we met in person, as I was driving him home, I was driving him to my house from the bus station. We actually didn't formally shake hands until I was in the car and we were driving along together. But we shook hands, and then he informed me that he had just finished masturbating vigorously. So I would just like to point out that this whole masturbation joke that's continued on between us for so long. That was actually him that started it.
So,
That was also when I found out he likes to sleep in the nude. Again, not provoked. He just brought it up.
I believe this is the second time that this conversation has come up tonight alone. Now, I believe when we talked last time, when you guys had finished shooting the video with you coming out of the washroom and your hair was all done, and the whole joke was that you were using shampoo and it was like one of those herbal essences commercials. Now, when you guys stayed the night together for the first time, I'm assuming you've done it more than once now.
No, actually, we've only been able to do it that one time so far.
We didn't stay the night together, actually.
Yeah, he went home. He got back on the bus at like midnight.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. He had to be.
It was a hell of a commute, and then I had to. It was just so exhausting. That was one of the, and I was still working at Kroger then.
Yeah. That's right.
What
you were in
the
grocery.
hell was I thinking?
I said we can't do something because it would cost money, and you immediately decided that we were going to do it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, so let's get back to the topic at hand here. Hellraiser. Creepy. Before Decker did these reviews and before any of this, did you ever watch the movies yourself?
I had never seen the Hellraiser series before Decker reviewed them. I ended up watching them with Decker to help him with the script.
Yeah.
Each time, and one of the things I've noticed about the Hellraiser series is I feel like they should have stopped at 2.
Yeah.
That's or like, you know how the horror franchise and horror genre in film, the horror film genre has a reputation of driving the franchise into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hellraiser really, really tries. I mean, with each movie, it feels like the director, the producer, the screenwriter sat down, got really shit-faced together, and then started talking about, okay, what can we do in this movie to make it worse than the previous films? You know, what can we do that's just going to piss people off more?
Yeah. Now, do you still have a moment in the film, the franchise, that you like? What's your favorite moment?
I will admit the scene in the third film where the reporter lady, reporter in name at least, has the puzzle box and is fleeing from Pinhead and the entire city of New York by extension because everything is trying to kill her.
Yeah.
That is actually, in its own way, it's a fun scene to watch.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid, but at least it's entertaining. You know? And this is actually something that Decker and I can agree on.
We can?
Like, if a movie is bad but entertaining, it has some merit to it. You know, even if you're not entertained for the reasons that the movie wanted you to be entertained, it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
You know, you can watch the Bible Man episodes, and if you're entertained by them, I would prefer it if you were entertained by them ironically, you know, but you know, like, as bad as they are, if you can be entertained by them, then that's something.
Mm-hmm.
If a movie or any form of media is bad and boring, then it's failed.
No, that's true.
Then that's it.
That's true.
Then just sorry, go home. Don't write us.
Then that's also downright nauseating to attempt to watch.
Yeah.
That's true. We haven't quite hit that.
I hit that.
Yeah, that's true. You hit that.
Now, what made you decide to do Hellraiser? I mean, there's how many horror films out there? You could have done Friday the 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street. There are so many to choose from. You went to like a low-grade, semi-B horror flick. It's beyond campy. Why Hellraiser?
Well, the thing with Hellraiser was I wanted to see it. I actually never really got to watch all the Hellraiser movies, and I thought that it sounded fun.
Yeah, yeah,
And also, it was something that I figured would be varied enough on its own.
yeah, yeah.
I did get a request for like the summer of Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th,
Yep.
but I, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, well, that might get too similar from movie to movie. Is it that much more formulaic?
Yeah.
I don't know if that could really be its own thing for a whole summer. And also, I was being a cheapskate that year. So that didn't really go through. And then later, when I was in the middle of the summer of Steven Seagal, I was like, I would have so much more fun with anything. Like, I still know Hellraiser, maybe Hellraiser. I was still in the middle of the summer of Steven Seagal when I decided that I should do the summer of Hellraiser.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I
that,
tend to think of the next summer during the summer special.
I know. The reason why I was laughing is that it's we had a conversation.
Tara wants to talk.
Yeah.
Really? Twice? Wow. Are you sure about that? Wait a minute. Wait. Tara, that's my face. Your bacon's over here.
oh, she sees the bacon.
Yeah. She's thinking about it. I'm waiting for her to change her mind and go back
Bacon
to eating
is
her.
good.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, she took the bacon.
She's at least investigating.
We were talking, I think, as early as last night about this, about the summer spectacular next year. And it's funny, Mac, you mentioned. Should we go ahead and spill this now?
Well, one thing that I don't like about letting the summer special be known early is, especially when it's this much is unknown, it may not happen.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
also, there's a cat in my face.
We noticed.
But also, the idea that, damn it, Tara, you didn't even touch the bacon. Bacon.
Are we gonna get a spoiler? Is what you're saying?
Well, the thing I don't like about revealing what it is you want people to be looking forward to it, but if they're looking forward to it for like a fucking year,
Yeah.
it can get a little annoying. Kind of like Gamerathon 3.
Mm-hmm.
And people are looking forward to it, but at the same time, it's like, eventually, and also give me money.
But let's put it this way: you may get something that Mac brought up, and a little something more as well. You may. Yeah.
Let's hear it. I want to hear it. I have 3 people that watch this show.
I was thinking that to myself, but I wasn't going to say it out loud. I was fighting it off.
Let's get a little spoiler here.
We're in the process of discussing, since there are a total of 3 fans who watch your show regularly.
I'm one of them. Yeah.
Should I spill the
And you're
beans so
one
that
of them.
everyone can point back at this later and say he was okay with it
Yeah.
and not
Like,
blame me for it?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, we were discussing it, and Tara. No, I'm supposed to spill the beans. Tara. You ate the bacon. Tara, you're not supposed to be in the podcast this much.
This will
anyway-
bring my subscriber rate up.
Anyway, we were discussing yesterday damn it. The Freddy versus Jason movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and I just kind of had a spark explode in the back of my head. I was like, wait, hold up. How many Nightmare on Elm Street movies are there? How many Friday the 13th movies are there?
Mm-hmm.
What
So
if?
I went to Wikipedia, and we
There's
started doing a count.
9, including the new version of the Nightmare on Elm Street, and I believe it is
Right.
9, including the revamped version of Friday the 13th, isn't it?
Actually,
Not
10.
nearly that even.
Really?
there's something like 11 Friday the 13th films, including the remake, and
There's
9.
there's 8 and 11 plus there's Freddy versus Jason.
So a total of 20. Yeah.
Mm.
But we were actually discussing to ourselves after Decker had this idea, like how once we found out how many movies there were going to be altogether, we were like, how can we pull this off?
Mm-hmm.
Because there are 20
Well-
movies altogether, and
Well, I was like, how can we? And then you told me, I love how I haven't even agreed to anything, and yet you're already saying we.
actually I was like, it wasn't even that I hadn't even agreed to anything. It was the fact that while Tara noms on Decker's nose some more, it was the fact that it's like. Well, what made me think of it was that 4chan post. This is getting off the topic, but someone posted on a 4chan site that I was uploading videos to Decker's channel without his permission and forcing my way into his show. Despite massive fan outcry. And then Decker's like, "Oh no, we're doing this together. You're not getting out of this." And so what Decker came up with, what we were like, what we ended up talking about is because there's so many movies, and because one review a week is not going to cover this many movies over this sort of time frame. It would essentially become the spring and summer of Freddy versus Jason. So what we ended up talking about was basically dividing the movies up on each other's channel.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
It's like
I like that.
So the summer of Freddy versus Jason would occur on both of our channels instead of just Decker's this time.
That would be really cool. That would be awesome. I have so much knowledge on those films. Personally, like I grew up watching those, and I could tell you every detail about every single one of them. That I would follow that like you wouldn't believe.
I have a feeling he's going to start talking about them very soon.
I personally saw the original Nightmare on Elm Street many, many times. I saw several of the sequels, but Friday the 13th, sadly, I think the only one I've seen in its entirety is Jason X.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
It was kind of the thing, it was on, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this was on TV. And then it just kept playing, and then I knew I should just find something better to do. But my face was just frozen in stunned disbelief with a cat in it.
Hello, kitty. Hello, kitty. So what about you, creepy?
Now echoing.
What about you, creepy? Are you did you follow both series, or just a Nightmare or Friday the 13th?
Growing up in a
close.
Southern Baptist household means you have very limited access. If your parents are very fundamentalist, you don't have access to certain things.
Yeah.
So by the time I got old enough to where I was on my own and could be watching them, it was just something that I thought I might do someday. But the fanfare for the films was dying down, even with the launch of Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
There was a revival of it, but it didn't really.
Yeah.
It wasn't a rolling revival. It was just sort of a spark, and then it went back down again.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah, I think the last big moment in the franchise for either of the two was probably, I would say, Freddy's Dead and Jason Goes to Hell. Possibly Jason Goes to Hell. I don't know, maybe Jason X. But I think that even if they were to remake with the original actors, I don't think they would have a chance in hell. No
Wait,
pun
any idea
intended.
how old some of the people are?
Yeah. The original film came out in 1980 for Jason and 1984 for Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon. No. We can't go any further. I want to save this for next summer. I need this. I need something to watch next summer. As you know, television during the summer is just terrible.
He's not wrong there.
Yeah. Maybe that's why my summer specials have been doing so well.
I was actually
You go
thinking
flipping
of
through
that
TV
myself.
like, fuck. And I say, well, what's on YouTube?
Actually, that's what I do. I don't really watch TV anymore. It's pretty much all YouTube.
I haven't watched TV in years, and at times I do run into problems with that because I did the reaction video for the new Godzilla, and I had no fucking idea that Bryan Cranston was in Breaking Bad because I didn't watch it. The last thing I saw with him in it was Malcolm in the Middle. Because that's how far back was the last time I watched fucking TV.
Yeah. Yeah. But, okay, so we should probably end the show because we were going into the 2-hour mark now, almost.
That happens.
It tends to happen. But, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for, watching,
How
I guess.
many hours of it was Tara meowing?
Probably 1.5. I'm okay with that, though. That's the closest thing to a
She's sitting
female.
on my amplifier. I think she thinks it'll help.
Yeah. But, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching the Sabotage Show. It is 1 year almost. It's probably over a year since I've done the last episode with Decker and Creepy. And, guys, thanks for joining me again. I say we do this once a year.
I was very happy to. In fact, when I saw the last one with Manic Expression, I was very, very disappointed that I wasn't part of it.
Yeah. Your thing must have gotten lost in the mail. And you're cutting out Decker. Let's see what you're. Oh, never mind. Damn, that didn't work at all. Oh, camera one. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.